Yesterday we have discussed all the scripting elements in JSP. Today we'll discuss tags in JSP. We'll discuss what are the tags that are available in JSP. So why tags are used means rather than writing a set of business logic again and again in JSP page. Okay? Rather than writing a set of business logic again and again in JSP page, a set of business logic will be written in the backend, but on the JSP page, a tag will represent the business logic. Let's consider like there is 100 lines of code. Rather than repeating that 100 lines of code, what we do is we write that 100 lines of code in the backend somewhere else, and we write a simple tag in the JSP page so that JSP tag will execute the business logic of those 100 lines. Okay, that's what the tag will do. Understood? See, let's consider like there is some lines of business logic, some repeatable business logic. Okay, rather than writing the repetitive code in the JSP page, what we do is we write that code in some backend class, in some class. Okay, we write that business logic in some class, and to represent the business logic on the JSP page, we create tags. So they will be simple and they will be reusable. Okay, tags will be simple. We need to run 1 or 2 lines of code on JSP. That's it. At the same time, they represent some complex business logic. Okay? Even though tags are simple, they represent some complex business logic. At the same time, they are reusable very easily. They are simple, they can handle complex business logic, as well as they are reusable. Understood? And there are some tags which are inbuilt in a JSP page. Okay, there are some tags which are inbuilt in a JSP page, which are available to the JSP page by default. Okay, there are some tags which are available to the JSP page by default. There are some tags which are available to JSP page by default. Those tags are said to be action tags. Those tags that are available by default in JSP page are said to be action tags. Just because they are used to, each and every tag is used to perform specific action. Why they are called as action tags means because each and every tag is used to perform a specific action. Okay, that's the thing. And Let us see what are the action tags available by default in a JSP page. The first action tag that is available is forward. And how we can use a tag like any XML page, even HTML also. How we use a tag? Starting tag and ending tag. Okay. Sometimes if starting tag and ending tag is not there, just we will start and end the tag at the same place, like break. If we want to give a break, we start and end the tag at the same place. Okay. Like this HTML tags, even JSP contains some tags. Okay. And the tags that we write or the tags that are inbuilt in JSP. The tags that are inbuilt in JSP are called as action tags, and the tags that are inbuilt in JSP, those action tags should be used with a prefix JSP. Okay, a tag can have a prefix, and that prefix for action tags is JSP. Prefix for action tags is JSP. And the delimiter between prefix and the name of the tag is colon. JSP is the name of the prefix. Forward is the name of the tag. So, delimiter between prefix and name of the tag is colon. The first tag, and the second tag is JSP colon include. Param. The fourth tag is use bin. Set property. Get property. These are the action tags available in the JSP page. Let's discuss one by one. Okay? The first one is forward. Okay? JSP colon forward. Let me remove all this content. Has attribute, this tag has attribute page. And while forwarding the request to another JSP page, we can send some parameters. Just we use JSP colon forward tag with the option page which represents the URL pattern or the name of the target web resource. Okay, the page represents the name or the URL pattern of the target web resource. If it is a servlet, then we'll give the URL pattern. If it is a HTML or JSP, we'll give directly the name. Okay, page represents name or the URL pattern of the target. Okay. Okay, page represents name or the URL pattern of target. Okay, inside the forward tag we can write a param tag with name and value. Inside forward tag we can write a param tag with name and value to send some parameters. Param tag is used to send some parameters while forwarding. So, what JSP colon forward will do means, okay, JSP colon forward action tag will forward the request from this JSP page to the target JSP page. How we can forward a request from one servlet to another servlet? How we can forward a request from one servlet to another servlet? Will send redirect forward the request? What I am asking is, how we can forward a request from one servlet to another servlet? How we can forward a request from one servlet to another servlet? Request is what you guys are doing. That's what I am doing. How to forward a request from one servlet to another servlet? That's what I have asked. Whatever the way you create a request dispatcher, either it might be request get request dispatcher or servlet context.get request dispatcher. You can forward a request from one servlet to another servlet only through a request dispatcher. Okay? Even JSP colon forward uses the same. Okay? Even JSP colon forward uses the same. It uses a request dispatcher internally. Let me print some content. Another .jsp. Just I have forwarded a request from hello.jsp to another.jsp. Okay, I have forwarded the request from hello.jsp to another.jsp. Okay, and hello.jsp is the source and another.jsp is the target. And what I have done is, in hello.jsp I have used the action tag JSP colon forward, where we have attribute page. Okay, and there is a tag param which has a name and value pair. Name is the name of the name of the parameter, value is value of the parameter. Okay, and Let us see how it happens. Let me try to start the server. Server is started. Let me try to execute the application. So, what's the content that is printed in the browser? Hello, this is target. But is this content printed in the browser? Actually, this content should be printed in the browser. Is this content printed in the browser? No, this content is not printed in the browser just because I told already JSP colon forward action tag internally will use request dispatcher mechanism. Request dispatcher dot forward. If you use request dispatcher dot forward while forwarding the request from one web resource to another web resource, first the source web resource response will be clear. So while forwarding the request from here to another .jsp, okay, first the response of hello.jsp will be clear, and then only the response will be sent to another.jsp. And since it is a server-side technique, okay, the browser address bar is still pointing to hello.jsp. Understood? JSP colon forward internally uses request dispatcher dot forward. But rather than we creating request dispatcher and rather than we executing the forward method, just what we do is we use the tags, and execution of tag will do everything. Just JSP colon forward literally use request dispatcher dot forward. See, if you are not answering the questions, very simple questions, and if you are not able to find time for you to practice, then there is no, I don't see any reason why I should continue the classes. It's a waste of time for you and me. Really, I'm not getting interest to continue the class even now. Why I should do this? If you are not making use of that. A very simple question. How we can forward request from one server to another server? That too, we have discussed that within this week. Almost 1 week back. What you are doing, I don't know. Really, I'm telling this class as a machine, not with interest. If you are like this, definitely I'll become like a machine. Without any interest, without any grace. I'll expect some commitment from people. But I don't see even a single person from you. Then JSP colon forward will internally use request dispatcher dot forward. So rather than we creating request dispatcher object, rather than we executing the forward method, just it is a reusable code in the JSP. Okay, that is the backend code. Rather than writing that backend code, okay, repetitively. They have framed a forward tag. Just what we need to execute is we need to execute forward tag with a target, okay, target with the attribute page, okay. We will specify the target in the attribute page. That's it. The request will be forwarded from source to target JSP. That's it. So this repetitive logic will be easily done by tags which are already developed in the JSP page. Just execute JSP colon forward. That's it. So if you see here, see page context dot forward of something, okay. See, the request is being forwarded to another JSP using underscore JSPX page context. This will internally use request dispatcher. Okay, so request dispatcher mechanism is used to forward a request from one JSP to another JSP using the action forward tag. If we are using action forward means internally we are using request dispatcher. Request dispatcher dot forward. If you use request dispatcher dot forward, then the source servlets or the source web, the web resource from which we have forwarded the request, that web resource response will not be included. Only the target web resource will be included in the response. Just because before forwarding the request, okay, the source web resource response buffer will be clear. Understood? So the response buffer of hello.jsp will be cleared before forwarding the request to, the response buffer of hello.jsp will be cleared before forwarding the request to another .jsp. The request is being forwarded from hello.jsp to another .jsp. Before forwarding the request, the response buffer will be cleared. Understood? This is how it will behave. And now we are sending a parameter to another .jsp with the name message. Okay. Now even that parameter will go. Okay. When that parameter will go. Now how that parameter is going? With some question mark. And equal to, name equal to value. If it is going with some, okay, see, this is the JSP page name, okay. After some business logic, it is happening question mark, okay, and question mark, name of the parameter equal to value of the parameter. Now, how the parameters are going from source to target in case of JSP column parameter? Understood my question? See, if we see the backend JSP code, it is like the JSP page name. By doing some logic, they are appending question mark, something like other.jsp question mark, okay, and then what they are doing is okay, they are encoding this string so that even if you encode a message, it will be message itself. There is any special character which is like ampersand or question mark, then it will be converted, but message will be message after, even after encoding message, okay, and again they are appending equal to, okay, equal to the value, okay. What is the value that we are sending? This is forwarded from hello.jsp. But spaces are converted, I think percentage 20 percentage, whatever it is. After encoding, spaces will not be there. So something percentage 20 is will represent the space after encoding. Understood? This is how it will go. And can I call this as a request parameter? Yes. Now in forward, if we send any param, then how it will go? How it will go to the target? It will go to the target as a request parameter. So let us see whether we can access that as a request parameter. Just I'm trying to access through the expression request dot get parameter of message. Yes, what I told, expression can be used to print some content to the console. Okay. So I'm using request.get parameter message. Understood? So let me see by refreshing the browser. So is the message available as a request parameter? Yes, the message is available as a request parameter. See, this is forwarded from hello.jsp. Let us see, is that the same message that we are sending here? Is it the same message that we are sending? Yes. So how we are accessing that? We are accessing that through request.get parameter of message. So the parameters that we send using the forum tag in forward will go as request parameters. Understood? So JSP colon forward will internally use request dispatcher, and JSP, whatever the parameters that we send using JSP colon param, they will go as request parameters in the query string. Okay, they will go as request parameters in the query string. Okay. Understood? Now the second action tag is, understood what forward will do? Just it will be same like request dispatcher forward mechanism. And let me use include. In place of forward, I'm using include. Let me make it country. The value is India. Okay, and now let me use the parameter name with country. Okay, and from hello.jsp we are including another.jsp and we are sending a parameter. Okay, now let us see how it will be. In place of forward I did not do anything. In place of forward I have used include. That's it. Okay, if you see the hello, this is the target, that is fine. India is the request parameter. Hello, this is the source. So if you use include, is the response of source included in the browser? Is the response of source included in the browser? Yes. Response of source as well as target is included in the browser. Then what do you think JSP colon use internally? What do you think that JSP colon include uses internally? It will use JSP colon include internally uses request dispatcher dot include mechanism. JSP colon include internally uses request dispatcher dot include mechanism. So I hope you remember at least what is request dispatcher and what is include, what forward and include will do. JSP colon include internally uses request dispatcher dot include mechanism. Now is there any other way to include one JSP in another JSP? Is there any other way to include one JSP in another JSP? Include, what is that? Directive include. In the previous class itself we have seen directive include, which can be used to include the content of one JSP in another JSP. Okay. Now, what is the difference? Okay, it's a very, very important question for interviews. See, even JSP colon forward also can be used to, JSP colon include also can be used to include the content of another.jsp in hello.jsp. We can achieve the same. Okay, we can achieve the same. Let me cut it. Okay, we can achieve the same using include directive. Include directive using the option 5. Okay, we can achieve the same. Using percentage we should end that. So hello, this is the target and this is from source. So the requirement is achieved. We have included the response of another.jsp in hello.jsp. Both are doing the same work, but what is the difference? There is a difference. Okay, if you see the first difference, how it is. Let me clean up all these things. Okay, let me re-execute this. Okay, and you see now how many servlet classes are generated? Only one. Okay, how the directive include okay, will include the response of one JSP and another JSP means, okay, first the first step of JSP life cycle is translation. In the translation phase, let's consider like hello. This is hello.jsp, and it has some content, and this is another.jsp, and this is some content. Okay, what JSP colon what directive include? This is directive include. Okay, the include directive, what it will do means, okay, it will include the content of the target JSP in the source in the translation phase itself. So the source JSP will become like this. Understood? So the content of the target JSP will be included in the source JSP at the time of translation. Understood? So since at the time of translation it is available, okay, only one servlet is created. One servlet class is created. Only one servlet class is created. Understood? Only one servlet class is created, just because in the translation phase itself, the whole code, the whole logic of the target will be included in the source. So if target is already included in the source in the translation, there is no need of creating a separate servlet class for the target. Understood? So this is how it happens in case of include directive. Okay, but in case of JSP colon include, if we do the same thing using JSP colon include, let us see what happens. Both will do the same thing, either include directive or action include. This is called as action include. Okay, this is called as action include. JSP colon something is a action type. So this include mechanism is called as action include. Okay, if you use action include and see what happens. Let me refresh the page. The same content is printed, but if you see the generated servlets, how many servlets are generated? How many servlets are generated? 2 servlets are generated. One for source, another for target. The source here is hello.jsp, target is another.jsp. So the source and target will be separately translated, separately compiled, separately loaded, but at the time of execution, by making use of request dispatcher.include, okay, understood? By making use of request dispatcher.include at the time of execution, okay, the request will be transferred from source to target. Okay, understood how it happens? See, let's compare this. Okay, if we go for we have 4 phases: translation, compilation, loading, execution. Okay, if we go for a request dispatcher, if we go for directive include, we go for directive include. If you go for directive include, what happens? Okay, the whole code, the whole logic of another.jsp will be included in the source hello.jsp in the translation phase itself. So those 2 JSPs, the content of those 2 JSPs will be translated as single entity, will be compiled as single entity, will be loaded as a single entity, and will be executed as single entity. And so just because at the time of translation itself, the whole code, the whole logic of the target will be pasted in the source. Understood? But if we make use of action include, the include action tag, okay? Okay? Then what happens is the translation phase. The translation phase, okay, there will be two entities, okay, both another.jsp as well as hello.jsp. Will be translated as different entities, okay. In the compilation phase also, okay, hello_jsp.java as well as another_jsp.java will be compiled as separate entities, okay. And at the time of loading also, hello_jsp.class and another_jsp.class will be loaded as separate entities, okay. But the time of execution, okay, a request will be transferred from the source to the target internally by making use of request dispatcher.include. By making use of request dispatcher.include, request will be transferred from source to target. Understood the difference? Understood the difference between include directive and action include? So, since we have used directive include, there are two separate entities. One is for source hello.jsp, another is for target another.jsp. And at the runtime, at the time of execution, okay, a request will be transferred from hello.jsp to another.jsp using request dispatcher mechanism. Understood? Now, a very, very important interview question. What is the difference between directive include and action include? What is the difference between directive include and action include? A very, very important question for interviews. Just with your knowledge, list out the differences between directive include and action include. Okay, and I'll tell some more differences. I'll give you a couple of minutes. With your knowledge, list out the differences between directive include and action include. Otherwise, let me complete this. Okay, then after I'll give you some time to note it down. Now, I have used directive include. and let me create some declaration. The declaration portion I am creating a attribute pi equal to 3.14. Now if I try to access this pi, will it be available? Now in the source I am creating a attribute pi in the declaration portion, and I am including the second JSP page or the target JSP page using JSP colon include action include. Okay, and now I have created an attribute and I am using that attribute in another .jsp. I'll give you 1 minute, think it logically and tell whether pi will be available in another .jsp or not. Understood my question? What I am asking? I have created an attribute in hello.jsp with the name with the name pi, whose value is 3.14, and it is in the declaration portion of hello.jsp. The attribute which is in the declaration portion of hello.jsp, is it available in another .jsp or not? Just think for 1 minute and tell the answer. Understood my question, everybody? Understood my question? I have created an attribute in the declaration portion, name pi and value is 3.24, and I am using action include to include another .jsp. In another .jsp, I am trying to make use of the attribute pi. Now, is this attribute pi which is declared in hello.jsp, is that available in another .jsp or not? Just think for 1 minute. Don't tell it directly. Think for 1 minute. How JSP colon include, how action include will work. Think for 1 minute how action include will work, and then you will get the answer. Don't tell it directly. Think for a minute. That's what I am telling. Think for a minute. How translation will happen, how compilation will happen, how loading will happen, and how execution will happen if we include using JSP colon include, and then tell the answer. Don't tell the answer before 1 minute. Think for 1 minute and tell the answer.